This is democracy, is it not? They say it's a democracy. Well, if the people mandate that you, our public trustees, perform the following action, if you fail to do this, how could you possibly call it a democracy? It would be nothing more than an open declaration of dictatorship. And perhaps that's what the people need, to see that, to see our government refuse to do something like this, so that they realise what they're in, what they're swimming in. See, it could be this simple, but we have to be in our hearts to do this. And I don't want to attack them. I don't want to hurt them. I don't want to arrest them. I just want them to be held accountable for their actions. And that's not going to happen unless we do it. But see, we always operate within their parameters. Oh, the government's done something wrong. I'm going to petition the government, or I'm going to take out some legal action, or get a lawyer or whatever. This is all their world. They created that. But their world's based on God's law, isn't it? It's ecclesiastic. It's based on biblical law. What does biblical law say? It says in their Bible, which I don't particularly get into, but they do, that's the basis of their legal system. It says on page 2 of their Bible, God created man and gave man dominion over the earth. What's my name? My name's man. What's your name? Man. We are mankind. We have dominion over the earth. It also says in their legal book that thou shalt not serve two masters. So I can't, if they're claiming that God is the basis of their law, then I can only really serve God, whatever I perceive God to be. I can't serve them. If they're claiming that I'm subservient to their legal system, which breaches the laws of God, then they're claiming they're a higher authority than God, and I need proof of claim. If they're claiming I'm not sovereign, I need proof of claim, because I believe I am sovereign. That's what I believe. I believe I'm sovereign and you're a public trustee. If you're claiming otherwise, show me proof of claim. They can't do it, folks. There is no proof of claim. It's a fiction. It's a meme. It's an illusion. We made the whole thing up. This whole government bullshit. We made it up. And we've got to stop going along with it. See, the problem is they took over the education system about 120 years ago, and they taught everybody that this is the way reality works, and everyone bought into it. They distracted them with fancy toys and flip-top this and that, and they just all bought into it. You know, have a few trinkets, folks. It's all good. You know, and it's all about keeping up with the Joneses. Just don't pay attention to what's going on. And over a couple of generations, this is what you get, because we're not paying attention. But now people are paying attention, and it's right across the world, folks. People are paying attention to what's going on, but they're looking for the remedy in all the wrong places. The remedy's in your heart. The remedy's in your heart, and by applying that to the world around you. But if you do it on your own, you're not going to get away with it. They'll eat you up and swallow you, so you need that common unity. That's why you need to see your own perfection, because then you can see it in others. You see what I'm saying? I mean, it works for everybody. It works all around. And I've been living my life this way for the last 5 years, and everything has just been perfect. I'll tell you about my trip to Peru. I had this experience in 2008 where I had this massive download, and a lot of people said to me, that sounds like a DMT experience. And I went, I don't know, you know. So so many people said it to me that I thought, well, I'll try some DMT and see. And it wasn't like that at all. It was much more than DMT. It was unbelievable. But when I had this DMT experience, I had quite a lot of DMT actually. Like this young guy, he said, look, Max, this is the bottom of the bag and this is a really big pipe, but I think you can do it, you know. But you got to keep on to it. So I went, okay, and I did it, and I was just, in 20 minutes I was gone. And I actually met the mother, I met the madre, and she took me down through 3 layers of like a fractal reality. And she said, you've got to go back now. And I said, well, I'm happy to keep going. And she said, no, you've got to go back because your friends are worried about you, but you've got to come back and see me because there's all this stuff I need to show you. I went, okay. And I opened my eyes, and everyone thought I died. It was a bit of a freak out, but it was all good. I didn't die. I said, no, I'm good. But they all looked very, very worried about me. But I've been feeling this calling. I said, well, okay, I've got to go back and see her, obviously. But I don't know. If DMT is not the way to do it. I'm not into that sort of stuff. You know, if I've really got to do it, then maybe if I'm ever going to do it, I'll do ayahuasca. And I got offered ceremony countless times around where I live, but I never felt right. It just something didn't feel right. It wasn't the right time. And I said to myself, I always said to myself, no, if I'm going to do ceremony, I'll wait till I can go to Peru and do it with a shaman in a traditional way. And I said this knowing that the chances of me getting to Peru are negligible. And I didn't even have a passport. I hadn't been overseas for 20 years. My passport had expired ages ago. Not even thinking about it. So I've been getting all these offers. No, don't want to do it. If I'm going to do it, I'll go to Peru. So of course I get a message over Skype. Hi Max, unforeseen circumstances, happen to be stuck with a spare ticket to Peru to go to a 9-day ayahuasca retreat. Would you like the ticket? You know, and I went, oh, you know, and it's like she's going, okay, I've been calling you for a long time now. You're being stubborn. You want to go to Peru and do it with the shaman, do you? Okay, well, here we go. Are we heeding the call now? You know, I thought, should I better go? Otherwise she's like going to appear in 3D and bitch slap me or something, you know? So I went and did it, and that was amazing. Then I got to Peru, and I mentioned on a radio show that I was going to Peru. So one of my listeners contacted me and said, look, if you're in Peru, I'm in Costa Rica. I heard your talk with Rick Simpson, who does the hemp oil cures, the other day, so I'd like to go to the World Hemp Congress in Slovenia. How about I fly you from Peru to Costa Rica and we go to the World Hemp Congress in Slovenia? And I went, okay, no worries, you know. So I rang up Rick Simpson and said, Rick, I'm coming over to Slovenia. Can you find out what hotel you're staying in? I'll book myself into the same one. He says, oh, yeah, no worries. 2 hours later, he contacts me and says, you're booked into the same hotel as me and the Congress is paying you. They want you to speak at the World Hemp Congress. Okay, you know. So that happened. Then I get over there and I got a friend in England, Ken O'Keefe. We go over there. We end up in Gaza. I mean, it was just ridiculous, folks. All of this stuff just happened. I went away for 2 weeks. I was just going to a retreat for 2 weeks. I was away for 3 months. I went right around the world and into Gaza, through the tunnels. Like, the tunnel system into Gaza is phenomenal. The day we got there, do you want to hear a little bit about the entry into Gaza? The day we got there, we had it planned to go into Gaza. We were going to sneak in there. I was with a guy called Ken O'Keefe. I don't know whether you know him. He's the man who started the Mavi Marmara, the ship that broke the Israeli blockade in 2010. Israel boarded it, about 6 people died, all of this sort of stuff. So we were going to go into Gaza. He wanted to go back in there. I kind of talked him into it a bit. Said, look, here I am in England. Egypt's right there. It's really close. And he's going, what do you mean close? And I'm saying, hey, man, I'm from Australia. Everything's close. Up here in Europe, man, everything is close, you know. So, yeah, I'm this close to Egypt. I'm this close to Gaza. I'm with Ken O'Keefe. Hey, if I can get into Gaza, I'd like to go to Gaza, you know. So he's organised, okay, we'll get to Gaza. The day we arrived there, an Israeli soldier was shot on the border. The border was closed, so we got in a different way. And the way we got in was kind of dodgy. I mean, we just kind of found these people. I mean, it's all, anyway, it was really, really dodgy. And I'm in Egypt, and I can't speak the language, and I'm with these guys, and I'm thinking, oh, what's going on here, you know? And but anyway, we ended up getting led to this tunnel. We've crossed the Sinai. We're in Rafah. And there's this tunnel. We get led to this tunnel. We said it's a 5-star tunnel. We get to a place that's about as round as that umbrella. And it's going down on an angle about like that. And I've looked at it, and Ken's looked at it, and we're looking at each other, and we're going, what are these guys even saying? You know, we don't even know what the language is. And I'm looking at it, and Ken's looking at me, and I'm thinking, well, I wonder if I'm crawling into my own grave. But I thought, I'm going to do it anyway because it just feels right to do. So I crawled into this tunnel, and I get down there, and there's this tunnel, and it's about this high. And it ends up being about that high. So that we're doubled over or crawling. And this goes on for about 1 kilometre underground. We're in a tunnel, just a dirt tunnel, no walls, just hacked out dirt. We're about 50 metres below ground. And we're in there for about an hour. And we come out on the other side, a complete mess, into this bombed out war zone of Rafah in Palestine. Unbelievable. The image that greeted my eyes was absolutely amazing. And I saw, you know, that in this rubble, in Palestine, there were children playing in the bomb craters. There were children throwing little bits of rubble around at each other and stuff. Like, Gaza's an area, the Gaza Strip is 5 miles wide, it's 25 miles long, there's 1.6 million people. Over 800,000 children in Gaza. Over half the population is children. Of the adults, there's half of them are women. So there's 400,000 women. So you've got 1.2 million women and children in an area 5 miles long, 25 miles, 5 miles wide, 25 miles long, in what is essentially the world's biggest concentration camp. They have saltwater showers. The electricity's off for 8 to 16 hours a day. they're allowed no trade with the rest of the world. Nobody's allowed in, nobody's allowed out. The only way people can get in and out is occasionally through the Egyptian border. But that's it's loosened up a little bit lately, but it's still very, very dodgy. You can't get a passport, so you can't travel anywhere. Even if you do get out of Gaza, you can only get into Egypt for a little while, and you can never leave. You can't travel anywhere. You're a forgotten person. That's what's going on in Gaza. And I went there and I interviewed the university students. So I did a talk at the university. These are wonderful people, really, really wonderful people. I was interviewing the university students saying, why are you going to university here in Gaza? What do you hope to achieve by going to university in Gaza? And they gave me these full stories about how they wanted to improve their lives and change the world and make a difference in the world, and all the things that you hear from the university students here. Just the same thing, just the same people. Beautiful people, all trapped in this situation. We were lucky, we can get in and get out. But we got in there, as I said, we were in there and we thought, well, there's no way Hamas doesn't know we're in here. So we better let them know we're in here. So we went up and made a video on the roof of a building in Gaza, the accommodation we were staying. We were holding the camera and we're sort of walking around, and we're showing them exactly where we lived, where we were. So that they, okay, here we are, we're in Gaza, hi, you know. And sure enough, they came to see us, confiscated our passports, all sorts of stuff. We had a bit of a drama while we were in there, but not too bad. They were actually very good to us, considering we were in their country sort of illegally. But they were very good. They detained us on the border on the way out, and the exit from the border was really interesting, because there was a group of really, really hardcore people there when I was getting out. As we were driving through town, we actually got detained by Hamas. They were driving us through town, and there was a bunch of Islamic jihadists there with Kalashnikovs and machine guns, and it was pretty full on there for a little while. But at no time did I feel fear at all. At no time did I feel like I was in danger at all. It was just a real calmness. It was an observer status that I had the whole time I was in there. It was really quite amazing, but it showed me where we're going, what it's like to be in a lawless state, what it's like to be a forgotten people, what it's like to be in such a state of extreme shortage that you're having saltwater showers. You know, you've got gunships off the shore not allowing you to fish, not allowing you to do anything, and these are just a beautiful, kind people. And we could fix this. We could fix it if we paid attention. We really could. And this is going on not just in Palestine, it's going on all around the world. It's going on in the Congo, it's going on in countless countries all around the world. Syria, there's stuff that's going on in Egypt now that's really wild. But I mean, a lot of that, these are governments that are, you know, they're doing it themselves. But Gaza is just this forgotten place. Palestine is just this forgotten place. And we need to pay attention to it. So it's been a pretty amazing trip, but you know, where we're going, I mean, if we don't pay attention, that is where we're going. And there's also a certain machine agenda to the people that are in control. I mean, we've got guys in control, whether they're good people or whether they're bad people is irrelevant. We've got guys in control who believe that their way is the only way. It's the only way. They're introducing a transhumanist agenda. They're genetically modifying everything on the planet, whether you believe that or not. It's true, the GM food, the chemtrails that are spraying, which are real. I've done soil analysis, I've done water analysis, I have a microscope at home, I've looked at what's in the soil, I've looked at what's in the water. There's some really strange things going on in there, folks. We've got a real control grid being put in place right under our noses because we're not paying attention. And the way to deal with it is by realising that our governments are trustees. That's all they are. So it's got to come in here. You understand what I'm saying? You see where I'm trying to go with this? And like, this is a very organic talk, folks. I don't have anything prepared for you today. I've just sort of come here and started talking. Because as I said, the trip that I've done, it's put me in a completely different perspective than what I had. There's even the way our consciousness has been altered, even what has caused us to create this type of civilization blows my mind, because I believe the schism in our consciousness goes so deep that if we really knew who and what we were, we wouldn't even need civilization. We wouldn't need any of this stuff at all. The connection that I got in Peru, the connection that I got to the plants, the connection that I got to Mother Earth was so profound. I saw so much what we could be that it doesn't matter if we bring down the system, because even if we do, we're just going to put another system in place. It's just not going to work. It doesn't matter if we have mass arrest. It's not going to work. What we have to do is rein it in and get it operating in the right direction so that it can steer us back to what we should be. The first step is to introduce an honest monetary system, get everybody out of debt slavery, and get all the toxins out of the environment, get all the toxins out of the food, get the fluoride out of the water, get rid of all of this stuff. That's what we have to do. And governments aren't going to do it. It has to be done by us. It can only be done by us if we realise who and what we are. This is a trustee agreement, folks. It's a trusteeship. This whole government is a trusteeship.